I was born where the earth knows names, where footsteps live longer than pain. Narrow paths worn by time held our stories line by line. No street signs, no written lies, just dust and truth beneath the sky. Every step my mother knew, every road my father drew. They said, walk softly, don't forget. The ground remembers where you stand. My name is Pede, I walk alone on paths of earth, on seeds unsown. The road is quiet, the night is long, but my heart still learns to be strong. If the path remembers who we are, then let it lead me from the dark. I watch the old ones fade with time, their stories left without a sign. Dreams were heavy, hope was thin. Still the path said, begin again. Even when my feet were torn, the road whispered, you were born. My name is Pede, hear me stay. I carry yesterday on my way, so the path does not die in me. I walk it on quietly.
The story you're about to listen to is both captivating and deeply rooted in African reality. But before we begin, let us take a look at the writer behind the story, Pede Hollist. So the Past Does Not Die was first published in 2008 by a USA-based Sierra Leonean English literature professor, Pede Hollist. Though this was his debut novel, Hollist had earlier made his introduction into Sierra Leonean literary production through the publication of 4 short stories, one of which was shortlisted for the Kane Prize for African Writers in 2013. His earlier writings focus on African identity, migrancy, and the overall desperate need to revive African nationalism. So the Past Does Not Die is not left out in this mission, as Hollist adequately addresses issues such as female genital mutilation, racism, sexism, migrancy, tradition, change, and individuality through the lens of his admirable female protagonist, Finaba. Now, let's listen to the plot account. The novel starts with the narration of the legend of Kumba Kago, an account about the culture, traditions, and eventual destruction of Musudugu village. Musudugu is a feminist utopia, a place where women are free, empowered, and completely disconnected from men. The author calls it a place of harmony, a place of tranquility, replete with singing and dancing, where women achieve their ambitions without the input or distractions of men. It also operates a highly hierarchical system headed by Atala, the supreme being, and his daughter, the virgin girl, whom all the inhabitants of Musudugu village must obey. For the female occupant of this village, the men are useful simply for the singular purpose of childbearing or procreation, and these men are compelled to exit the village before sundown after copulating with the women. At different times, men from neighboring villages make attempt to conquer this tribe as a test of their male ego, but they fail due to the collective strength of the women and the protection provided by the tribal deities. However, this protection comes at a cost. The women of Musudugu are not only disconnected from men, but also from their male children who are sent out of the village once they are old enough to control their bladder. Kumbakago was born breech, which means that she came out of her mother's womb with her feet first, unlike the other children born in Musudugu. Hollist's legend of Kumbakago in the initial part of the novel functions as a prologue, which parallels and prefigures the latter part of the novel and gives the reader an inkling of what would happen later in the novel. The story of a unique woman who is destined to be different from other women. Hollist's message in the novel, which has 24 chapters, is simple and is underscored right from the onset of our narration that the acquisition of knowledge by Africans through the auspices of Western civilization and modernity has had a debilitating and very negative impact on African culture and civilization, which Musudugu represent. From the first chapter of the novel, the reader is introduced to Finaba, a young girl from Talaba village, which is located some distance away from Talaba town in Sierra Leone. Finaba, who is also commonly called Fina, is ripe for the tribe's female circumcision rite, an initiation that would mark her transition into womanhood. The only obstacle to getting this status is her mother, Nabu, and her father, Amadu, who have grown skeptical of the practice due to the loss of their first daughter, Dimusu, who died after being circumcised. Amadu's mother, Baramusu, an old woman well versed in the culture and traditions of the people of Talaba, is a staunch supporter of the practice and obstinately demands for Finaba's circumcision despite the death of her first granddaughter. While others view Dimusu's death as a sign that the practice is dangerous, Baramusu believes that her granddaughter's death was simply an act of destiny and fate that could not be averted. Baramusu believes that female circumcision is a compulsory rite of passage into the fold of women, which serves as a veritable means of identifying with the ideals and values of the village. She attributes her son's recalcitrant behavior and opposition to the circumcision to the influence of his wife, Nabu, who is from another tribe. Nabu is an alien to Talaba's culture, and despite her dexterity at performing other wifely duties, she is constantly regarded as an outsider by Baramusu. For Baramusu, Nabu does not fully belong to the group of the ideal African women because she has not been circumcised. Baramusu is also not happy that Nabu equally prefers Fina to go to school and access the knowledge provided by Western education. She is totally against the idea of Finaba going to school because she feels that Western education is a threat to Talaba village and the preservation of the culture and traditions of her inhabitant. Despite her parents' opposition to the initiation, Fina takes the decision to undergo the circumcision, and she colludes with Baramusu for the circumcision rite to be performed on her. Unfortunately for both Finaba and Baramusu, Amadou discovers their plan and enters the Fafe, which is the place where the circumcision is being carried out, to retrieve his daughter, as he is unwilling to lose a second child to this ancient cultural practice. Although the process has started, he snatches Fina from the Fafe and takes her to the local health clinic where she is treated by the nurses. For the women of Talaba, Amadou's invasion of the Fafe is a sacrilege, as no man dares enter the Fafe. While Fina recuperates at the hospital, Baramusu and the women of Talaba invade Amadou's house to lay curses on him and the other members of his family for interrupting the sacred practice, while also praying for a purification of their community from the wrath of the gods. Interestingly, they are more concerned with preserving the traditions of Talaba than Fina's survival. At the clinic, Finaba receives treatment and gradually recovers. This moment strengthens Amadou's resolve to protect his daughter from practices that endanger her life. The tension between him and the traditional beliefs of the village grows deeper. As Finaba grows older, she begins to understand the differences between traditional expectations and new ideas. She is given the opportunity to attend school where she is exposed to Western education. Through learning, she starts to question some of the customs she once accepted without doubt. Her journey through school is not easy. She faces social pressure, cultural expectations, and internal conflict about her identity. However, she remains determined, supported by her father's belief in education and personal choice. Eventually, Finaba leaves her village to further her education abroad. There, she encounters new cultures, experiences challenges of adaptation, and reflects deeply on her past. She struggles with identity, belonging, and the memories of her upbringing. Over time, Finaba grows into a confident and thoughtful woman. She begins to understand both the value and the limitations of tradition. Rather than completely rejecting her root, she learns to balance tradition, with personal freedom and modern ideas. In the end, Finaba's journey becomes one of self-discovery. She represents change, resilience, and the possibility of choosing one's own path, even within a society shaped by strong traditions. Thank you.